jaBROni, JABRONIXYZ ABC. Oh, it doesn't matter how you spell jaBROni.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the jaBROnis, presented by bodyslam.net. I am your reigning, defending, undisputed jaBROni world champion. Here, just again, let me real quick over here. Toph McCann. For how long, Val? Because I'm joined with the leader of the coalition.
Oh, I don't want to think of myself as a leader. I'd think of myself as what is it called? What's it called? Like a financier or I guess an advocate, you would say. I don't know. I don't really necessarily like some of these guys if I need to dig deeper into that pool. But you know, a big guy. I'm Mike Butler. How you guys? I'm a big supporter of the coalition.
And this will be the this is the go home show for Money in the Bank, and
not the go home show for Money in the Bank.
Oh wait, why do I keep doing this every week?
I thought it was too. It's not the go home
show.
This last we have a whole nother we have a whole nother show.
I think I'm just nervous about that one. I'm trying to skip over it because there's
I know.
Some debut, and we've had so many debuts this week, and I don't know if I'm ready for our own new debut.
It's though, isn't that weird how that's worked out? We've had all these debuts. We're probably gonna have more, and you know, we have our own debut coming up next week. Next week, your challenger is going to be on the show, and it's just exciting. It's just so exciting.
Do we have one more clue?
We have one more clue. Have you after last week's clue? You caught me off guard because I expected you to ask a question. I was not expecting to give another clue. But last week's clue, I felt like it was a fairly large clue that probably could have clued you in on who it is. Last week's clue, if you missed it, was this. I'll say this. This gentleman has one of the most successful careers outside of the wrestling business. And you immediately jumped on the rock, and I'm not saying yes, and I'm not saying no. It could be. But so I'll give you the biggest clue. The biggest clue that you may even figure it out. This gentleman has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the last 5 years. So obviously, I just answered your worries about The Rock.
All right, so it's not Dwayne.
Unfortunately, I was not able to book The Rock, but we are in talks.
So now I will have to start doing a deep dive into the inductees.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Someone just popped in my head.
Okay, who is it?
I don't know why. No, I guess that's not the Hall of Fame though. That was the Warrior Award.
Who is the Warrior Award?
I was thinking Titus O'Neil randomly.
Ah, man. He's like too busy doing his Warrior Award stuff.
He's an ambassador. I mean, he was just at the Lightning game the other night, giving them the WWE Championship for winning the Stanley Cup. I don't know. I'm thinking successful outside the ring, but not Hall of Fame.
Outside the ring, okay. You know, he's definitely a philanthropist or whatever, entrepreneur. I don't know what they call him, but yeah, the voice of the WWE outside of the WWE. I get that. No, not Titus.
Well, I know that I'll be on Wikipedia looking at the last 5 years of the Hall of Fame, trying to figure this out.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh what? Oh no.
All right, so on that note, it's kind of bummed me out a little bit. My stomach has turned a little. Where can we where do we go from this week? There's many places to start.
Not really. I don't want to say it's been an impressive week there or anywhere really as far as content and the shows have gone as usual. Raw, I think, kind of went back like that. We've been spoiled with like two really like good episodes. I did not feel the same way about this past week. The one thing that stands out for Raw for me was the opening. Was it the opening segment, the Ms. TV segment?
With everybody coming out, yes.
Yeah, and just Riddle just being Riddle is top notch.
Everyone, he went up and sat on the ladder and was like, "Isn't this what we're supposed to do?"
I'm really high right now. That's like, come on, like I'm really high. You know, totally get the joke there. I mean, aside from that, I don't really have much to say about Raw. Morrison and Ricochet had another match. And then, I think you got your women's Money in the Bank 6-man tag ladder match or whatever. So
I had a problem with Raw this week because my sling was kind of messed up where I couldn't. It was doing the thing where you could only watch it live and then you could scroll back a little bit, but then it would just cut to the live feed. Like I could go, if I tried to go all the way to the beginning, it would just cut to the live feed. And I wasn't able to watch it till like after the whole show was recorded. I couldn't watch it from the beginning, which had then kind of messed up me writing the Monday Night jaBROnis. And it was very late Monday. And then I decided, all right, well, I'm not going to be able to pull this off this week. So I'm just going to have to skip this week and blame it on oh, look, I have a oh, thank you. I just got a cameo from the daughter.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Oh,
She gave me a package.
that
So there we go.
looks like UPS or FedEx right there. Is that Amazon?
I just got a cameo. I slowly was just like, close that door. But
How much does she charge for her cameos?
I don't know. It's gonna be a pretty penny by the time I
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I was fumbling over my words because of that. But yeah, so it got late to do my Raw review, and I just kind of was like, all right, I'm just gonna write this into my review next week and just blame it on Sling, basically. So, and then I kind of went through Raw the next day and was like, all right, I mean, I'm not really.
Honestly, you probably could have used last week's Monday Night jaBROnis and you would have been like, okay.
Copy and paste.
Yeah.
Just change the
Maybe
date.
just change a little words, whatever. That's whatever. It's fine.
Well, we're almost out of the Thunderdome. I mean, SmackDown last night was the final SmackDown. We have Raw this Monday it was already recorded, so we'll be getting that, and then that is it. And I'm very, very excited about that.
Very excited. Can't wait. Never thought fans would mean that much to a show, believe it or not, but I think it has. It's just really exciting, and as far as Raw shows go, and maybe even SmackDown shows, I'm worried about attendance. I don't know the numbers on certain places that they've already sold tickets to, but especially with Raw, I mean, with the way it's been, here's how I look at it. If Raw was coming to Philly for the first time with fans, like instead of wherever they're going, I don't know if I'd go for a Raw, because Raw, I've been like trained to watch Raw and be like, man, this show sucks. Like, no way I'm sitting there for 3 hours and watching this. SmackDown, I'm a little bit more lenient to, but I'm very curious to see how they do with attendance.
It could be potentially even for SmackDown. Even I mean, we got the word just a day ago that we have SmackDown coming to Wells Fargo Center in Philly here in September. And I was saying to you, I mean, this is going to be, I've never gone to a SmackDown ever. I've been house shows, Raw, bunch of pay-per-views, but have never been to a SmackDown. And you were saying how with the 2 hours, like it goes very quickly.
It does go by very quick, especially if it's a good show. Like I mentioned to you, when Ambrose and Cena were doing their thing. I don't know if they met in a one-on-one match or a triple threat match, maybe with AJ Styles or something, because I know
Like
AJ Styles
2016, 2017.
Yeah. It was fairly recent after the draft, and Cena like was on a break. Ambrose was cutting this promo, or no, Styles I think cutting a promo. Cena came back and like I lost my ish. And then another SmackDown I just remembered that I had went to was when Jeff Hardy, 2001. Jeff Hardy beat Triple H for the Intercontinental Championship during the whole two-man power trip situation with him and Austin. And again, great show. Goes by way too quick. And I was 11 years old at the time. So it probably went really, really quick. But yeah, SmackDowns go by pretty quick.
I wonder if they're doing, I don't know if they did at the time, like, well, they'd probably like a dark match, but I wonder if they're still even filming. Like, I remember they used to film 205 Live, I feel like after SmackDown they did.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know. I mean, 205 Live is still on, I believe, but
it is. They're just, I think they're like doing this weird NXT breakout tournament on it now. They have like 3 cruiserweights on their roster.
I saw, did you see that this week on Twitter?
Yeah. I think Nigel McGuinness was still on there.
Yeah, he was one of the 3.
Yeah. But when I went to SmackDown that year in 2016, I don't think 205 Live was a thing yet. So they may have done main event or something, but they had a dark match because it was before Kurt Hawkins was back on TV, and Kurt Hawkins did a dark match. And I forget who he faced, but I think he won. No, he lost.
I was going to say, this was during the 100 loss streak.
I mean, I guess technically because he had not returned to WWE TV. It was when they like brought in Shelton Benjamin and Jinder Mahal back and all them. And so he definitely had a dark match. Can't remember who it was against, but I don't know if they filmed that for main event because I don't remember seeing purple for 205 Live.
You just kind of with Raw, and you just said Jinder. They are, I mean, kind of doing what we talked about a few weeks ago about the Drew and Jinder, but they're feuding over a sword.
Look, here's the thing. I don't care what they're feuding over. The fact that they just threw this on Raw is so dumb. Like, you have so much, let alone the fact that you use the sword to build this match up instead of like their freaking past. I mean, I know they like hinted towards it when Jinder Mahal was all the Maharaja badass coming in on the motorcycle thing, but you could have done so much better, and this could have been this would have been a solid pay-per-view match if you just build it, man. Just build it, and instead you throw it down on a random Raw. So cool.
But it still seems like maybe that might be the route, or probably maybe Jinder might get involved in Money in the Bank, kind of take Drew out of it, maybe, or somewhere along those lines.
I don't think Drew's getting taken out of that match at all.
No, I actually think maybe during the match, like while the match is occurring.
Oh, during the match?
It comes out to kind of, at that point, maybe they can take him out of the match.
Or I guess I could see that. I guess I could see that.
I'm still very after we have, I mean, we can kind of bounce all over the place. It's locked in now. We have all the men are finalized for the Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Rollins and Cesaro, of course, as usual, put on an awesome match.
As usual.
And which I kind of thought it went. I was watching it thinking it was the outcome of that match was going to be different. I thought
did too.
I thought Cesaro was going to win that match because I was like, all right, if not, I mean, we really got nothing for Cesaro coming for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, poof goes the push, I guess,
Yeah.
There's no reason for Rollins really to win this match because he's already like, you could probably like 98% pencil him in to face Edge at SummerSlam, like 98%. And I'll explain the 2% that I'm feeling in a little bit. But there's no reason for Rollins to win this match because you have that. What's the point of having these guys face off at WrestleMania and then again and again, and Cesaro wins? Like, Cesaro should have probably already been in the Money in the Bank without this qualifying. And I know that sounds like weird because it's like, I think for the majority of fans, they have been begging for the WWE when it comes to Money in the Bank to put on qualifying matches. And here I am saying that he didn't need to qualify. If you're going to put him against Seth Rollins in a qualifying match, like, the dude already beat him like 2-3 times already, just put him in, just because he had one bad day against Rollins, now he's not in the Money in the Bank. That's my feeling on it. But so Rollins winning that match changes I have a whole game. Not me. I'm sorry. I don't have a game plan. Your opponent next week has a game plan. And he's kind of thrown off a little bit because now Rollins, I have a certain feeling Rollins could win the Money in the Bank. Like a huge feeling. And then they could do something. They could still do something with Edge. And then, I don't know. Roman, they could even do another triple threat and make Edge go crazy again at SummerSlam. Like, it's blowing my mind. Or because who knows, Rollins could win, cash in that night, and there you go. You have a tailor-made triple threat match again. Especially if, although I don't think it's happening, if Cena is not able to go at SummerSlam. I know that's locked in, but yeah, I know I did that, but like, I don't hold my arms high enough. I've noticed that over the past couple episodes. I don't use this area. But go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, they try to put that out this week with Cena with he's shooting a movie with like bona fide mega star. Everyone in the movie's like a huge star.
Superman, man. Superman's in there.
And they're trying to, I feel like it's always some kind of like little swerve to make it seem like, but I feel like that's the money match. Like, because I'm still kind of thinking of a card in my head for SummerSlam. And I mean, that just, in my mind, that just needs to happen. But then everything else is just kind of like, Seth and Edge, yeah, you still need like 2-3 more like bangers. And I'm interested to see, and I'm not talking about Nikki Ash or I don't know. It's just, and the news of Bailey being out 9 months
hurts.
That's
really, really hurts.
Whatever plans, I mean, giving them credit, whatever plans they had to finish off this feud, which would have maybe been just probably, I was assuming, this match.
Yeah.
Where do you go now with?
So if I'm predicting SummerSlam cards right now, it is way too early. But if I'm going out on a limb, and you were right, you have Edge, Rollins, say, you have, let's say Cena and Reigns is happening. That's 2. I agree. You need like maybe 2 or 3 more big ones. It'll be Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg or Lesnar. Hope the latter. Women's side will probably be your other 2. So Bianca versus Banks 2, I would think. Rematch from Mania.
probably the
depending on the heat on
sexiest.
Sasha. Yeah,
What's up?
depending on the heat on Sasha.
What's up with
The,
her?
she posted some things about like, well, she didn't even post. She liked a few posts supporting anti-vaccines and anti-masks and stuff.
Oh, see, I saw people freaking out about her. Didn't look more into it because it was just like people kind of like one sentences on Twitter, but I didn't see what she actually
Yeah, which
said. Or like,
it's funny. My wife pointed it out to me the other day. Like they have these vaccine commercials with the WWE superstars, and she's on them saying to get vaccinated. So I don't know if that was just like a weird coincidence or whatever, but I don't even know if there's heat on her for that. But so I'm gonna say Banks and Bianca again, and probably Rhea and Becky at SummerSlam,
they,
which I don't think should happen because I don't think Rhea can. I don't, I'm not the biggest fan of Rhea's in-ring work. I'll say that. But Rhea and Becky.
I mean, Becky's one that I think it could definitely be one of those one big matches, which,
Yes.
I mean, you asked me like a little towards the end of the man gimmick, I was ready to bang my head into the wall with it, but
Same.
Time heals all.
Sure does.
And especially with just looking around what's going on currently in that Raw women's division, which I mean could factor into my jabroni of the week. So I don't want to get that much into it, but
yeah. But I mean, that's the same reason I'm saying Sasha, because you now with Bailey out and assuming that Shotzi and Tegan are not officially called up. There we go again. You got like what, 5, maybe 6 women, not including Bianca. Let's take the tag champs off there because I think they're technically on Raw. Carmella, Liv, somebody else, probably. I forget who, but like I can't think of those. So Sasha is like probably the reason I'm thinking. Because of that, I'm thinking Sasha for SummerSlam.
Well, she's been going since Mania, right? She hasn't.
Yeah, I think she's filming I think she was filming the Mandalorian, like the season 2 of that. I'm not sure. Not a Star Wars guy. Don't know.
Same, yeah. Unfortunately, sorry, but
yeah, I'm not to freak anyone out. My bad.
I lost my thought. It involved
just trying to figure out the women's roster. The women's roster is crap, but I'm hoping that they are bringing up Toni Storm. I think that'll be good. Bringing up, I don't know if Shotzi and Tegan were a one-off or if that was just a call-up, because Tegan just came back.
All right, that's what I wanted to mention. Like, so they've been doing these vignettes with a phone charging, and it was revealed at Great American Bash, which was a great show. And I remember I was kind of talking shit on NXT last week a little bit, but it was a very good show. But we can talk about that. But yeah, Tegan showed up. Did they rename her just to Tegan?
So I think there was some confusion. So the name banner was Shotzi and Knox.
Okay.
But Michael Cole kept on calling her Tegan Knox.
Okay.
So I think that was more of a Michael Cole hitting the buzzword too many times, and it's supposed to be Knox, which is stupid, but I don't understand why these people can't have their names, man. Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Knox, not that hard.
So it was kind of a real, because she showed up and cost Candice and Indy the NXT women's tag titles. And then all of a sudden, so it seems like a return on NXT, doing something with Candice. So now I don't know if it's just and now she's instantly on SmackDown. So it's like,
I don't think so.
Are they both? Is she on both brands?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. They've done that before.
And kind of continue and do a finish the story, or is this just like a Aleister Black kicked me in the face, and then the next week he's not here anymore, and
that will be harder to do now. Like if they were still all in the same confines of Florida, I would get it. But now that WWE is going on the road, and I don't know what the deal with NXT is. I'm assuming they're staying at the Capitol Wrestling Center, but that would be hard to do because NXT's live, and just having her go all over the place in a week might not be best. So they could do that. They've done it before, but who knows?
Finish up a small program and then bring. I mean, it's needed. It's definitely needed because I mean, I say NXT's women's division is pretty stacked.
Yes.
So it might not. I mean, I'm sure Triple H was pretty upset about losing his Tony Storm, and probably I'm assuming a bunch of plans that he had for her. But
Triple H always gets the shit end of the stick, though. I'm surprised that these girls haven't ended up on Raw, because Raw, I think, is just as bad as SmackDown when it comes to that. Yeah. Not that they don't have the women, it's that Raw does not showcase the women that they have. We've been watching Rhea and Charlotte go back and forth for months now, and you got talent like Dana and Mandy, who I would love to see in a title picture. You have Alexa Bliss, who is off doing whatever. You have Nia. You have, although I'm not a fan of Nia, Shayna. I necessarily not a fan of her either, but she was a badass in NXT. And when she first came up, all these women that they are showcasing the wrong way. Reginald, of course. All these women that you're showcasing the wrong way on Raw, that it's like they're an afterthought, except for Rhea and Charlotte.
Which I'm gonna bite my tongue for now. I'm gonna bite my tongue.
There you go.
But I just we were talking. I just mentioned Aleister Black, and before we kind of get into his debut, AEW. But I saw this quote where he was. I don't know if you saw this. It was some quote from an appearance he made, and he was talking about where he played his new music that he had for Vince McMahon. And it went on. He was asking questions about the speed and when it picks up or whatever. And then like after the song played, it was basically just like, I don't know. Vince was like, I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm a 70-something-year-old man. What the fuck do I know? And that was like the quote that, and it was just like, all right, he's even like, Vince is even admitting.
Like he knows. Yeah, he knows. He knows. He's a pop. He knows. I'm 76. What do I know? Exactly. You don't know nothing. And you don't know how to update your guys' contracts when you bring them up from NXT.
So we'll go to that now, because that was one of the main storylines behind that. And it got touched on a little bit more, even what you mentioned, SRS's interview with Buddy Murphy, which I got to check out as well.
Solid interview.
Awesome.
Interview. Fascinating from top to bottom. Kudos.
And
SRS.
Getting their just like the backstory of a lot of things that have been going on there, all the way back to I was very interested in that when the thing fell on Reigns and they had him in the background.
That was like the best part of the interview, I think. In my opinion, that was the best part of the interview.
Okay.
But between that interview and what came out about Tommy End's contract and how it was an oversight or a clerical error, whatever you want to call it, that they didn't update his non-compete clause from 30 to 90 days. Like, it just goes to show, like, what are you guys doing over there? Like, I know this is probably one person's mistake, maybe. I don't know who's in charge of the contracts or whatever, but that one mistake makes y'all look terrible and incompetent.
Especially when they've been having their finger on the firing button so much every few weeks. Like, you should probably make sure that everything involved with your firing is
Yeah,
taken
go
care
over
of.
those contracts first
Yeah.
before you fire that individual.
Yeah, because you're obsessed with going to it every few weeks. But I mean, yeah, like maybe let's like look at the fine print one more time. Because I mean, he even said Murphy was saying in that interview, it's like they were like offering him, like, oh, we'll give you the 90 days. And he's like, it's weird. Like, you were getting rid of me to cut costs, but then you're also offering to pay me for 2 more months. It's like,
Why can't I get paid for 2 more months while being on the roster? Stuff
yeah.
like that doesn't make sense.
But
Whatever.
it all worked out because I don't think, I mean, inevitably, maybe people were thinking like late after August,
Sure.
we were going to see maybe Aleister Black show up in AEW, but it was done to perfection to the Cody strap match where they did a little light off and on, and it was just kind of not, which was foreshadowing, just like, especially it was because it was involving Cody, and they brought it back to weight. That was one of the better debuts I've seen in a very long time.
This is where the potential jabroni, my potential jabroni of the week comes into play. Unfortunately, this was spoiled for me, and I was very upset about that.
Not by me either.
Not by you, yes, not by you.
Never do that. Always.
Although you like almost did. Like, I swear to God, I got the text from the dude and your text instantly, like at the same time.
What did mine say though?
Yours said, "Are you watching?" or something to that effect.
Which I mean, I guess makes you think that something has happened, but there's nothing.
No. You because you text me that all the time, and I'm like watching Raw. Like, why the fuck is he asking me? Like, well, I'm not missing anything right now. But like, I read your text, then I read his text, and then I texted you back. I was like, well, no, but I just got it spoiled to me. So if I'm watching this, like, I'm trying to pretend that I didn't see it, and if I'm watching this and I'm watching that strap match and the lights go out, I probably would have been like, yeah, technical difficulties, first time on the road, you're probably not used to it, and like you haven't done this in over a year and a half, it's probably technical difficulties. And then I would have lost my crap later in the night. Would have lost my shit.
I had that problem on Monday with the Sling. So when Dynamite was on, I made sure I went to Sling and had it on live. So I figured if I was watching it live, even or if I could rewind and go back.
Yeah.
So I actually was sitting down and watching that live, and it generally caught me off guard. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and it still caught me off guard because like I knew he was debuting, but I didn't know when. I didn't know who. Like, I thought when Omega came out, it was gonna be that.
Okay.
But so like when the lights went out, I was like, okay, he's gonna be there. But then actually seeing him, my jaw still dropped because he kept the eye that he lost, and that is something like that I haven't seen. I don't think ever, even going back to WWE, WCW days. Like, where in the world do you see something happen to one guy at one promotion and he brings it over to the other? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and people were also saying this. I was thinking as well that they basically WWE set up the character, posted vignettes on their show about this kind of and then he shows up on a different promotion almost with the setup, like people already know who he is from the indies and all that, but it was kind of funny how it was just, and then came in, and then the eye thing was just another bonus to it where you're just like,
unreal.
Okay,
so good, absolutely amazing.
I mean, can we for a second, I mean, your friend who did that, we kind of say it's kind of a dick move.
Yes. Yeah. He knows. I wrote him up. He was one of my associates. I wrote him up for it. But he was a good sport about it. He apologized immediately, and it's all good.
All right.
Good. He's not going to be my jabroni of the week.
I was just going to say
there's more important things going on this week that
I would have changed it for you. I would have changed it.
Nah, yeah.
That's not cool. It's not cool.
Darnell, you're in good company. Okay.
All right.
You're in good company, Darnell. You're good.
Love you, Darnell. All right, so added on to the debut, we had, I mean, the main event of Dynamite, we had a street fight. We had a mixed tag involving Orange Cassidy. We had a little did they they were building up the Brian Cage and was it Brian Cage and Ricky Starks match? Because now they've been doing
Yeah, I wanted to say Hobbs for a minute, but I don't think it's Hobbs. I think
it's like Road Rage was this, and now they're doing Fighter Fest part one, and they're doing Fighter Fest part 2. It's just like,
yes.
I think I had did I have this screenshot on here on my phone of just like everything that was happening in this just 1 month? We had the Great American Bash, then we have Road Rager, we have the 2 final Thunderdome shows we're getting out of the way, Fighter Fest, first SmackDown with fans back, Slammiversary, Money in the Bank, first Raw with fans back, Fighter Fest night 2, and then they have Fight for the Fall in the following week.
Jesus.
All in July.
It's a lot of shows for people to debut, you know? A lot of shows. I think Slammiversary is going to have one. I think there are people who are like are coming off of that 90-day clause in July. Like maybe from that first round of cuts, I think. I forget who was part of that.
I always love the like the promo for Slammiversary where it's always just involves
always tease
everyone who's cut.
Yeah. Can I just say real quick? I don't know if I've ever gone on record and to say this. I've hinted towards it maybe on Twitter recently with a few tweets, but I remember a couple weeks ago we were discussing like if I didn't know if I liked the Young Bucks or if I just thought they were annoying. I don't like the Young Bucks. I think they're overrated. I think they're just like they use super kicks to make them think they're good because they use the super kicks in different ways, and I think they're overrated. I don't think they're even close to one of the greatest tag teams that ever has been. I don't know. I just wanted to go on record for everyone that listens to the show. I do not like the Young Bucks.
This is what they want. They want you to say that.
I mean, it's not because of anything they're doing on TV. I just don't like them.
I just don't like. I think when we were talking via someone's tweet about the Usos are greater than the
thing that you hate. Yeah, that's what really.
We have a history of my hatred for that. It's just like, I like the Usos and I like the Young Bucks.
That's what made me realize it. Like, you put up the Young Bucks against the Usos. Usos got that. I mean, like there's a lot of there's a lot of people who like the Young Bucks, Toph. Like a lot of people.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that they're like. No, I am saying they're dickheads. I don't like them, and I don't think they're that great in the ring. And I think, I think them and Meltzer, there's something going on with them. And I don't like it. So I don't like the Young Bucks.
I think a lot of people.
I hope that pisses a lot of people off.
I mean,
especially the Young Bucks fans. I don't like them. I don't like them.
Will, but I mean, it's also something that I feel like a lot of people are on that same wavelength with you on that. Just like the Jim Cornette kind of more approach, which we didn't even get to mention. Just kind of to bring up that there was a fan who jumped the barricade and tried to get in the ring, and there was all this nonsense.
I watched it happen, but I didn't realize what was happening. Like, I thought maybe one of MJF's goons were out there and he did something, but
so he ended up, this guy tweeted and had like Jim Cornette and other people involved in the show there, and then both of Cornette and his co-host came back instantly and was like, yeah, we might like rip on the product and everything, but it's like, you don't jump over the barricade or try to throw yourself into the show. And they both blocked the dude or whatever. It's just like, again, like most of the people in AEW backstage probably hate Jim Cornette, but at the same time, this was an opportunity.
I'm not privy with what Jim Cornette has said, so like,
I think he's just very.
I know he's very forward.
He doesn't like the more of the state of what wrestling is right now compared to
I know. He's more of like a classic NWA type of guy,
like the Kenny
not like
Omega
today's NWA,
wrestling.
but
Yeah,
back in the day.
wrestling a
But
broom, wrestling a little girl. That stuff infuriates him.
well, I mean, I can't blame. Like, it's funny, but I mean,
It's
when you've worked in the business for as long as Cornette has, I can understand. I understand that. I
there's
don't know if I would appreciate watching a match with a broom.
it's those things though. Like it's people just hate certain groups of people. It's like I agree with a lot of things that Cornette says. There's a lot of things he says that I'm just like, no, I don't agree with that at all. But
Do
it's like
you?
if you even say that you're like, well, I like this or something, like people, the mob will come after you with, oh, he said this before, whatever. It's like, well, I'm not talking about what he said before. I'm talking about what he said about this particular uh,
Thing.
subject. I'm not talking
Yes.
about something that he said maybe stupid about something else.
Yeah.
I probably don't agree with that, but what I'm talking about right now, I do agree with, and it's kind of like always. That's basically wrestling.
It's a tough line to cross, really. Would you say that you fall on the Jim Cornette side of the fence more so than the Vince Russo side?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
I would probably say but honestly, I think it's like a very close, like 60-40, like 55-45. Like it's
Yeah, it's very close. It's no such thing. They can't get along, and they both bring up so many good points.
But I've more recently in the past few years, I haven't really heard much from Russo. I remember I used to.
Yeah, I feel like he's like kind of trying to get out of the wrestling game overall. Like, he used to work for Wrestling Inc., used to work for Fightful, and just he doesn't want to watch the product right now. It's bad in his eyes. I mean in my eyes too, but it's like really bad in his eyes. I can't imagine this product to somebody who used to work for the companies, or at least one of them in this case. But yeah. No, awful.
I want to bring up on SmackDown, something happened, and I thought it was kind of weird, kind of funny actually. So they did. Well, the segments were like Roman sitting in the chair back in his room or wherever. And earlier in the night, like I think Edge says he was going to call him out or whatever. So like Heyman comes into the room and he's like, Edge is he's informing him what happened in the segment. Like Edge is going to call you out. He's going to call out your manhood and all this stuff. And he's like, this is the first time Roman's hearing about it. He's like, all right. And you see him like seething mad or whatever. Like fast forward like 45 minutes later, and they're in the same spot again doing like a backstage promo or whatever, but they pull the camera back more and there's a huge TV with the show on right next to Roman. I was like, why did Heyman have to come back 45 minutes ago and inform him what Edge says when if Roman was still sitting there, like he could have saw it on the screen right there. Like he already knew about it.
He's too busy intently staring at the wall, like for 45 minutes. That's what it is. He don't even look that way. He's thinking about what he's having for dinner later, probably.
Touche.
Like,
I didn't think about
Dustin's
that.
open. I have to settle for Burger King or something.
He's just staring straight. That's right. He's got no time to turn his neck.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for that then.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
5-star show then besides that. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. What else happened on SmackDown? It was
My boy.
What?
My boy Corbin.
Yeah, we can talk about that. So my wife Dana decided to join me on this episode. And I would call her a casual fan. She has not been privy to what's happened with Baron Corbin.
Okay. Well, she got a little a segment that kind of gave you a little bit of his losing the crown. And
yes,
everything.
and that's what helped.
I feel like we should do this every week almost. When Dana watches it with you, kind of get Dana's thoughts, and you kind of just go through kind of what's going through in Dana's mind.
I mean, this is not just what goes through in Dana's mind. In my head, it's like what the casual fan who doesn't watch it like us we'll see and we'll think. Before this, she hated Baron Corbin. Like she didn't like him, you know, almost the same, like me and her on the same level with that.
Okay.
And she took one look at him and goes, "What happened?" And like before anything was shown, before I think it was shown backstage or something, but like she noticed there was no crown, there was hair, there was a beard. It's like, what happened? And I started explaining to her the whole thing, and it's like, oh my God. Like she was like, I don't know if she was like more disgusted with him or actually felt bad, but I was telling him, I was like, telling her, look, something really good is going to come of this for him. And he's going to win this match with Nakamura. And then he lost the match with Nakamura. And I was like, all right, don't listen to me. But she was a big fan of Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. And I think I told her I thought that's what was going to happen. She's like, if that happens, that's cool and everything, but he's got to do something about the hair because it's really bad.
It's selling.
It's bad.
Sympathy. That's why I was, once you start saying it, like it's happening, and that's happening with everyone who kind of hated him almost for now.
Yeah, no, it is happening. Like, I mean, you look at the guy; it's awful.
You thought that he was going to beat Nakamura, though?
I did. You've seen this match so many times, and Nakamura's come out on top. I thought this was the one that Corbin won to get in the Money in the Bank and kind of like get back on the saddle. I thought I was actually so ready to be like, yo, if Corbin wins this and gets in, I think he's gonna win.
No, I think the slow burn of just things have to keep getting worse and worse for him.
It can't get any worse. The next, I mean,
that's what they're saying in the writer's room, and then someone raises their hand and like, I got something.
You notice he didn't have any theme music. So he's gonna have like the full-blown jobber entrance.
I loved it. I love that. So he just comes, the way he walks down, there's just like McAfee, I think, said, he's like, he's got no music. It was the way it was just delivered.
Me and Dana were cracking up at McAfee from him and Big E on the couch. He had a line about Corbin's hairline that I cannot remember what it was, but it was the most hilarious thing that was said of the night, and we lost our shit.
Dude, he really does make the show. Him and Cole are great together.
He was the highlight of the night. I feel like
he always is. He's always like somehow like he always makes the show better.
Here's the thing though, that could be bad too.
You don't want to take
you know, it's like watching a baseball game, and if you don't say like the umpire's name or you don't mention the umpire, that means he's doing a good job. Because he's calling it right down the middle and all that. But like if he's like blowing calls and shit, you're taking the attention away from the game to this umpire who's fucking up.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing with Pat McAfee. You're taking the attention away from the superstars because you're acting like a freaking goof over on the announce table. But I love it. I don't hate it. I love it. I love it. I'd rather watch that than like 18th Nakamura Corbin match.
That's going to continue to, I just think, I don't know if they're going to start putting like notices up on his house, and like there's still like so much more they can kind of just go with this. I love seeing it every week now. It's like, this is what I've wanted for so long, and it's finally happening. People are starting to appreciate and like Baron Corbin. If they pull this off, this could be the greatest babyface turn ever.
It very, very well could be.
He's literally one of the most hated people the past few years that I've seen on social media. Him, and I feel like The Miz too, still, like people for a while, like not even social media, just in general, I feel like people like hated The Miz a lot all the time. But Baron Corbin's like number one. Everyone just, I'm just so excited that it could finally be happening.
It's gonna be good. Hopefully everything works out for the king. had Cesaro get some color.
That's just what made it even better. That whole thing, just like throwing him outside the ring and getting back in for the 10 count and then going back out and like DDT something and then getting back in. Like the way they had so much time and stretched that out just made it. But you still kept thinking like that Cesaro was going to win that match though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did not think there was. I would have probably bet money that Seth was going to lose, because that would have just sent him in deeper with the Edge storyline. In my opinion, like, man, I shouldn't even be at this spot. I should be fighting Roman at Money in the Bank, but no Edges, and now I don't have a chance with Money in the Bank. It's, you know, the whole shtick. It could have went that way, but I mean, now they're probably going to do something like that still, even if he loses Money in the Bank, which I'm like 50-50 on. I really feel like they could do that.
Yeah. I just did that Money in the Bank. I think that's one of the best they might ever do.
We have a full field for the men's. Like,
yep, it's
Cesaro, Seth, KO, and Big E, Riddle.
No Cesaro, Nakamura.
Did I say Cesaro?
Yeah, Nakamura, Seth, KO, Big E, Riddle, J-Mo, McIntyre, Ricochet.
Yeah,
Ricochet. I saw Ricochet's the youngest person in the match, I think, at the age of, I think he's 32, I think I saw. They were saying like it's crazy, like Money in the Bank, sometimes like fresh, young talent or whatever. It's just like the youngest person's 32.
I mean, they're fresh talent, they're just not young.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, I would consider Ricochet fresh in this storyline.
Yeah, I just
WWE title storyline. Same with Riddle. Riddle's just getting to his good stuff.
You look at the poster of the match and you're just like, all right. Like,
yeah, like I'm pretty pumped about that Money in the Bank match.
Well, we
have to need two women for the women's match.
That's gonna be a train. It's gonna be a.
You think that one's gonna be a train wreck?
Just I like that they kind of came out and did that whole. They gave the spot to Carmella.
I don't like that.
Well, for a second I was freaking out because I honestly, in my head when I was watching, I was just like the only person that there's nobody else that is like a.
Yeah.
It was just like, and then I was like, well, that's stupid because she won the title, then she shouldn't be in the money. And then they brought out Liv Morgan and did the whole, I was like, all right, that makes sense. And now instantly it's like, all right, well, they kind of have this story set up where it's like, I kind of want Liv Morgan to win Money in the Bank.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather be in Money in the Bank or have a shot at the title?
Well, yeah, I mean.
So, like, I was thinking, like, dude, why is Carmella getting this shot? Liv Morgan's beat her twice, I believe, in the past 3 weeks. Liv Morgan wasn't even officially in the Money in the Bank. Like, Liv should be if we're gonna give it to Carmella, Liv should probably be facing Bianca, not Carmella.
Which should have got. I don't know why Liv didn't even bring that up. Like, yo, beat her twice. Like, why is she getting it?
Like I wouldn't, yeah. Like, and she was that, like, she shut up after she was told that she was in Money in the Bank. But like,
I would have been like, yeah, no,
not good enough now. That's not good enough now. Like, you're giving her a title shot. I just beat her ass twice. Like, what's up? Keep her in Money in the Bank. Give me this.
Yep.
Like, I'd rather have that. Take my chances 1-on-1 and then like one-on-one or however many people are on there in that ladder match.
This is true.
Didn't like that. Didn't like it. Don't understand it. I don't know what kind of storyline they're trying to do with Liv and Sonya, if that's gonna, if that's like the Authority versus Daniel Bryan type of deal, but and like
Sonya was almost another contender for jaBROni of the week, but just because I'm tired, I mean, just to say, just because I'm kind of sick of her in the Authority role, I just feel like maybe leave that to Adam. Come wrestle. They need you actually. They're dwindling, but. We got to talk about it before we get to jaBROnis of the week. The Mysterios, which won, they returned, and I was thinking for a second, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. This happens a lot. This has happened a lot throughout the years where I feel like with SmackDown too. And I was like, wait, I think they are. I think they're the tag champions, right?
Yes.
Where are they?
Well, look, they had to sell the beating that Roman gave them.
It's true. I already forgot. It seems like so long ago.
Yeah. I think about this. Like, I thought, like, since it was like build Hell in a Cell, and that's usually in October, I thought it's been since October that we've seen the tag team champions. But look, this is obviously going to set up Usos versus Mysterios. I'm all for Dominic Mysterio getting his ass kicked. I think it's the best segment. It was the best segment of the week when they were on TV doing the Roman thing. I think this was the best. I mean, even though like they like kind of got the upper hand at the end of the night, whatever, that man took a kick and his head, I'm pretty sure it came off for a minute and then went back on his shoulders. I don't know which Uso did it, but thank you. Thank you. That's it. Like this is all that it's leading towards.
And I mean with the whole, I don't really get into it. It's been, but they kind of like mentioned the outside trouble kind indirectly, because I was watching the whole time. I was like, I don't really think they want to promote it as much, so they just indirectly mentioned like stuff in our family. Like it got mentioned very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing it. It says like,
I thought Roman was gonna. I kept thinking that.
I thought so too.
The whole time watching, I'm just like, yo, I just feel like he's gonna cut them out and be like, and like reprimand them and be like, you're disrespecting. I thought it was gonna go that route for a second.
Like, I thought like he was gonna be like, while I was busy trying to get Jay back here, you were out there having joy rides or something like that, something stupid like that. But it does say that they mentioned that Jay was saying something like, I understand that we're going through some tough times right now.
Yeah,
that maybe could have. But I mean, also Jay just left because he was conflicted between the two, so that could have been the tough times. Are you surprised that he was on TV?
No,
really.
Not really. I mean, they're telling a story on TV. He's like an actor or whatever. And I mean, he's, to me, like, I don't know. I was looking at it like that. Like they're telling this story, and are they gonna, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird situation, honestly. Is leaving him on television promoting you and your company supporting drinking and driving and being like, oh, you could do it and still make money and be on TV and be a celebrity.
Well, all right. So one of them did this before, right? I don't know if it was Jimmy still or if it was
This is
Jay.
like his third, I believe.
But I remember, what was it? What year? The year going into WrestleMania 34. They had one, and I'm pretty sure like almost immediately after they won the tag team titles. So
it's gonna happen again.
Right, it's probably gonna happen again. And I'm not, I think it will look bad. Because think of it this way. If Corbin got a DUI, would he be on TV? I'm just saying. He's the first name that came up. I got the recap in front of me. I saw Corbin. I said it.
He's a very responsible man, but
not right now. I mean, he's down in the dumps right now. I mean, I know he doesn't have a car to get a DUI in, but if he got a DUI, would he be on TV? I don't think so.
With what they're doing with it, why not? Why wouldn't he? Because he's not in a storyline with the champ, or he's not related to the champ?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. 100% yes. because I don't know, I don't have an example, but I feel like this kind of stuff has happened before where somebody in a main storyline on the show gets in trouble and doesn't get punished for it, at least until after that storyline is
That could be.
finished.
The only thing I'm thinking is I feel like maybe there would have been some kind of, but I think they have this storyline laid out for the summer at least. And I think that if losing, it was supposed to be the one joins them, the other one comes and then it debates it, and then he joins them. We're at the moment now where they're all together, and this is what we're leading to. And then they get the titles. Everyone's holding the title. I don't think they want to reroute off this storyline, even if it leads from a year from now.
Yeah, but I mean, from what a lot of reports are saying, like there's a lot of people backstage that are pissed about this, and it's probably because of what you were saying, what you're just saying.
Yeah,
They have this big plan, and now it's like, well, we kind of have to.
we have to go with this plan. It's like whatever they have planned might be great, but it's just like at the same time, like if we go with this plan, it's like it looks like we support. We're rewarding.
Yeah, would you say that they like crack under the pressure of people commenting on social media? Like, do you think they like really take into effect what fans are saying about it?
No, I really don't.
So, like, a lot of people are like saying this same stuff. A lot of people are saying like, I can't believe they're not punishing him and stuff like that. And I feel like it is a harder thing to do. I don't think it's as cut and dry as you got DUI, get off the TV, get off, go home. I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. But for something not to come out about any type of form of punishment yet, I think is a little shocking to me personally.
Yeah, I guess.
Even a fine.
Yeah, something where maybe they just do it and keep it not
Yeah, maybe they're not trying to like, but
publicize it,
all
because
the time.
then all of a sudden it's like fine for DUI, and it's just like then the company's making money off of a DUI. Then almost at that point, it's just like he has to give WWE money. So WWE is literally profiting off of someone getting a DUI. If you even think about it like that, then
He could.
Like,
I don't know. I just thought it was
that's
weird
blood
that he was on
money.
TV. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he got into an actual accident or something, then like now you're talking about putting somebody else's life at risk, and along with your own. So I guess it's however you look at it, really.
It's just, yeah, but more of along the lines now. It's just like, oh, it's having a lot. It's just like maybe just needs to get some help. And I mean, it's just not good. I don't get people who have money or whatever and just can't get a Lyft or an Uber, or to me, it's like it makes no sense to me. And at that, I don't know.
I mean, it's unfortunate, and not to get like off topic of like wrestling stuff, but like I don't drive. It's one of the reasons why I don't drive. I too many stupid people out there, and now like I got a kid that I don't want to not see ever. So running that risk, not worth it. I'd much rather take $50, $120 Uber from Philly to Boston or whatever it would be, instead of driving and risking that. So I mean, everyone else is different, probably think that's stupid or whatever, but sometimes it's like, just be smart. Be smart.
Yeah, and it's the track record of doing. It's just something.
It's like not the first time it's happened. It's not like it's so dumb.
There's no wrong. You drive, you get your car back later. I mean, it's nothing to. It's responsible. That's all, and hopefully everything works out. He gets some help and can learn from these. I mean, third time's a charm. Third time is a charm. So
I want Roman to replace Jimmy with Rick Boogs.
My name is Rick Boogs.
Yeah.
All right. jaBROni of the week time.
Yes. jaBROni of the week then.
I want to go right into it.
Go ahead.
It's all of the women on Raw right now, specifically Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, because honestly, I'm getting so sick of them. And it just goes along the lines of all Nikki Ash, honestly, can get thrown in this as well, because I don't understand how you like just beat her with a Samoan drop and you're trying to, but like it's such a, no offense to her ideas, it's so stupid. And
You
it's
mean
just
her
like,
kryptonite is a Samoan drop?
huh, what?
Is her kryptonite a Samoan drop? Is that what that is?
It just seems like they're trying to build, and it's not the way you build up something and they lose somehow is like what they're doing with Corbin. But the way they're doing it with Nikki Ash, I hate it. Hurts so much saying that. It's so stupid. What about, never mind. I'm gonna try to focus. I was about to go on another tangent. That's just I just hate that all. I want to go back to Rhea and Charlotte with the crutch thing was one of the worst things that I've seen on Raw in a while. It was just so idiotic. I want them to both lose at the next pay-per-view. I think I don't even know what they're doing. I couldn't even predict that. That's going to be the hardest match ever to predict, because I just think currently I guess it has to fall on Rhea Ripley now, because like she's literally made me be uninterested in Charlotte.
That's made you uninterested in Charlotte?
Like this whole thing, like I'm just like I'm so done with like the whole Raw women. They need to do the draft immediately. They need to just switch things up and just hit the reset button with a lot of like from Asuka to, they just have taken a huge shit on so many, and it's really like disheartening watching Raw and the women, and just jaBROni of the week, basically Rhea Ripley.
Man, Rhea Ripley just bringing that whole locker room down. It's okay though.
I don't know. I don't know why
I agree with you. I'm not. I do not.
It all goes back to her for some reason. I think not the Nikki Ash stuff, but it's just like it's making me uninterested. When I was kind of had her back.
You should take Nikki Ash out of that. She's just trying to get on TV, man.
Yeah,
you know?
and I even though I'm not a fan of it, yeah, Nikki Ash, I'm sorry, but it's just like, I mean, I've been a defender. I mean, let's all remember at the Royal Rumble, Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble. We saw the feet touch. We don't care. We'll bring it back up again. Bianca technically didn't win that. Her feet touched before, but whatever.
I never noticed that.
I remember it was a big thing, and then it became like it was almost like it became a race war, dude. Like it became a race war because people were saying like, because I think it was just a little like her feet like slightly touched. People were saying it's a shadow, like, but Bianca's feet like slowly touched the floor when they were both hanging, and she came in, and then if you said that, you instantly hated Bianca. You were racist then. So I remember I was just saying it along, and then I started getting. I was like, "Are you serious? We're really gonna do this? Just because her feet might have touched it?" And people were tweeting about it. Racist. All right, cool. I didn't know that's how that worked, but all right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I still went on a tangent about a bunch of other things, but I feel good now.
Good. Lots of possibilities. Where do we start? I mean, we could have started with Jim Ross, but doing the whole WWE Dynamite thing. Was that last week that he did that? Yeah, that was last week.
WWE Dynamite.
So he's disqualified. He's disqualified.
That's awesome.
We could talk about whomever was the douchebag that didn't update Aleister Black's contract. I think that's a real big Jimmy That's a big jabroni of the week type of thing. But I'm already settled on it. I just said him. Jimmy Uso is definitely the jabroni of the week, and we kind of just talked about it. You do stupid shit, you're automatically jabroni of the week. Take Uber, take Lyft. They're great programs, both of them. Use them both. Awesome. You get deals for them. You know, like if you order like so many rides, you get like one ride free or something, or like $10 off a ride. It's pretty banging. I'm just saying, you know. And you know, sometimes they're pretty cool. Sometimes they don't talk to you, and you can just listen to your headphones, you know. Or other times you can like, they're actually insightful with their conversations. Sometimes you get the weird ones, but that's okay. That's all right. You know, it happens. It's better than dying.
That's true.
So just be smarter, Jimmy. You make lots of money. Be smart. Jabroni of the week.
Put them on the board.
Put them on the board. First timer.
Yeah, both first.
I need Dominic to do something like that's worthy of it.
I mean,
I miss putting them on the Jabroni of the week board every week.
Yeah, it's been lonely up there, honestly, without them.
Yeah.
But I mean, now they're back, so I mean, there's going to be plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited. I can't wait the first time he wears like a pink polo or something.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Also, kind of like a honorable mention.
Nice.
Yeah, WWE. You never got back to me for the application that I put in. Like I didn't hear not one word. Like usually they actually email me and be like, "Hey, we're not selected." They did not email me once. I may be blacklisted. I'm not sure.
Did you tell them that did you lie and tell them that you didn't know anything about the product?
No, I said I co-host a very successful podcast called the jaBROnis, and it's in its short lifespan, we've correctly booked your shows on more than 10 occasions.
Yeah.
Like that's what they need. That's unreal. But yeah, F you guys.
It's bullshit.
Back to me. You know how unprofessional that is? I'm like a little kid who hasn't had a job yet, waiting to like work for his dream job, and you don't have the courtesy to email me and be like, "Hey, you weren't selected." You know how many times I gotta interview people and then call them saying they didn't get the job?
You don't want to do it, but you have to.
Yeah, you have to do it. Jerks. Sorry.
Pieces of shit.
Going through my old Twitter and I just saw my application. I was like, they never got back to me, the assholes.
Maybe it's pending. It's pending.
Check the email right now. I don't know. Uber Eats, Apple Music, YouTube TV, nothing. No WWE stuff.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
But next week.
I don't even know if like I should be on the show at all, or if like I should be on the show to introduce him, because I'm not gonna lie, he's like very, very pumped about this. Very pumped, and he's looking to. He's not a nice person.
He's not a nice person.
He's not a nice person. He may. He's not a nice person.
Well, oh God, I as soon as I'm done with this, I am going to be on Wikipedia doing my research. God.
So we'll talk about it off air.
All right. Before we get out of here, I mean, go check out all things jaBROnis over at bodyslam.net. Episodes are there. You can find the episode YouTube or Spotify version, all podcast apps. Search for the show. Mention the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. The notification bell. People say things about that as well. It's fantastic. You can follow us on Twitter at jaBROnisPod. You can follow myself at jaBROni McCann.
And you can follow me at jaBROni Butler.
It's a beautiful thing. We have the t-shirts. We have the merch store, t-shirts, hoodies, fanny packs, and whatnot. You can go check it out. I keep saying it. I have to upload the new one that I have. I'm trying to do it monthly. I think I skipped. I wanted to start in June. So doing it in July now. So look soon for the new shirt coming up this week. And nailed it. Our buddies over at the Push made the return. They interview with Shane Taylor. Go check that out. I heard a couple interviews they have lined up, which should be pretty awesome. Unless they were lying to me, but I don't think they were. I don't think
they wouldn't lie to the jaBROni world champion.
So yeah, go check out the Push. Go also they share the page with us. Go check out some of their interviews. And for me, we have also Monday Night jaBROnis. I do every month except last week because Sling TV. Yeah. But I'm telling you, back this week, Monday Night jaBROnis. I watch Monday Night Raw, kind of give my thoughts on it. It's fun. Go check it out. And also, Mike, hit us
the
up with
Untitled Wrestling Network, full of Raw reviews and SmackDown reviews that have no title, but do have a title. So it's weird. It's a play on words. You understand it. I try to post the Raw one midweek, so Wednesday or so, and then if I'm lucky, I try to post the SmackDown show right after. If not, sometimes you just don't get a SmackDown post show because, you know, your boy works in the morning and can't stay up that late. So, but yeah, there's Raw reviews, there's SmackDown reviews, there will be pay-per-view reviews, and yeah, that's it. Untitled Wrestling Network. Follow that page on YouTube. Subscribe. Be a doll. Thank you.
And then, yes, next week, the reveal. And we will be joined with a WWE Hall of Famer coming after.
I've pulled strings, and he's taking time out of his very busy schedule because, again, he has one of the most successful careers outside of the wrestling business, to come on here in this basement. It's not like via Zoom or nothing. Well, I mean, it is via Zoom, but not like via his Zoom, via my Zoom. He's coming. He's going to come to my house, get on this computer, sit in this chair, and challenge you, and most likely beat you for your jaBROni World Championship.
Wait, are you going to be you're going to be with them? You guys going to be sitting next?
No, I'll do this. I'm going to come on and I'm going to introduce him. But once I introduce him, it's him, not me. I'm not on here.
So
not
what?
Not me. I'm not going to, like, there's no point in for me being on. I'll give him my jaBROni of the week. I'll give him, you know, my insights. I've told him some of your weaknesses, some of your strengths, what to watch out for. He's pretty quiet though, so he didn't really have any reception to that. But doesn't talk much.
Oh God! All right,
he's really focused.
I gotta go stew on this. I'm running. jaBROnis out.